Hello everyone, I'm Greg Donovan. I have a bachelor's in accounting, a master's in accounting with a focus in taxation. I started my practice back in 1997. I've been in the business since 1992. I just wanted to go over offer and compromise. Now I'm going to try to make this video short. So I'm going to go through it a little quick, but you'll be able to ask me questions and things like that. Hopefully I can get back to you fairly quick. All right. The big question is offer and compromise a good option? Offer and compromise, if you don't know what that is when you owe an IRS debt and you offer the IRS less than what you owe. And you have to fill out a packet. It goes through all your finances and everything. It goes through quite a bit. To find out if you qualify to settle. Okay. I want to let you know a couple of other options besides just going straight to offer and compromise. Okay, but offer and compromise, I want you to know 40% of them get accepted. So in other words, 4 out of 10 people can settle their IRS debt. Now that's nationally, it's not me, but it's national. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. Everybody that files an offer and compromise. Okay. All right. Some people may stop at the 40 and say, they were one that didn't get accepted, and they say, well, forget it. I'm not going to do it anymore. But I need you to understand your second attempt, 75% of those get accepted. So in other words, 75 out of 100 people get accepted. That's pretty good. So you should definitely do a second attempt. That's why whoever you use, if you use me, I do not charge for a second attempt. Okay, I just kind of assume that there's a high probability we probably will do a second attempt. So I don't charge anymore. All we're doing is really just changing one number. What I mean by that, if you owed $100,000, you offered 20 on your first attempt. They said no. You offer, let's say they jumped it up to 40,000. You offer 40,000. They could, 75% chance of accepting it. So you can, and that's the process. So if you don't use me, make sure you check with them and say, hey, a second attempt, what's that going to cost me? Okay. All right. Now, before I go straight to an offer and compromise, because offer and compromise can run you $4,000 to $7,000. Okay, and that's pretty much the average. But I want to go over a few things that you need to make sure you're aware of in case you use somebody else. But this is my process. So first, I review your tax returns. So let's say your debt came from 2015, tax year 2015. Well, I go back and I review 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, I want to make sure that all the returns, all the credits, the deductions, everything were taken. Okay, because that way, even though you can't get a refund beyond 3 years, but you can certainly reduce or eliminate a liability. So 2015, if you wind up owing, you said you owe 20,000, but yet I'll go back and amend it, and we find out you should have got a refund of 5,000. Well, that refund is forfeited. So it's sad that the 5,000 you didn't get it, but the $20,000 debt goes away. Okay, and one amended return will run you anywhere from $400 to $600. Way cheaper than $4,000 to $7,000. Way cheaper. Okay. And a lot of times, you amend several years. If you make a mistake in 15, odds are that mistake proceeded in 16, 17, 18, 19. So that means in some of those years you can actually get a refund. So that refund you can actually get. So instead of having this huge debt, you wind up getting a nice little refund in. So amending your returns is always a good option. And it's far more effective than this 40%. Okay? The third thing I go to, I always ask, what debt? What kind of income created the debt mainly? And to give you an example, cancellation of debt can do this. I find that companies are really bad about sending those 1099-Cs out because I'll have clients that won't get them. They'll find out 2 or 3 years down the road, they'll send me an IRS letter, and next thing I know, oh, okay, they had a cancellation of debt. So then that turns into income. So that means if you had $50,000 worth of credit card debt and let's say a term loan, all of that gets canceled, well, that turns into income. So then you're like, okay, well, I owe the debt still, right? Well, that's not necessarily true. They give you another option. Insolvency. Insolvency may be a better option. So in 2015, let's say you couldn't pay anything, lost your job, whatever. And how do you know if you're insolvent? Well, you take up all your assets, car, furniture, things like that, your house. And then you take your liabilities, your mortgage, car note, auto note, that kind of thing. And if the liabilities are more than your assets, you're insolvent. So that means that if you add up everything you own, and it's $50,000, and then you take all the debt that you owe, and it's $60,000, well, you're $60,000, you're $10,000 in the negative. So your liabilities are $10,000 higher than your assets. That means you're insolvent. That means that you qualify for this. That means all of that cancellation of debt goes away because it's not taxable income anymore. So this will run you about $500 to $1,000. As you can see, it saves you quite a bit of money. And these are more effective than offer and compromise. I've done several insolvencies, and I've never had any questioned. I always keep real good supporting documents on that stuff because I don't want to have issues. And I do this on my tax returns also. Anytime I prepare your return, I try to keep as much supporting documents in the file as possible. Only the material items, ones that could create a bigger problem. But insolvency is a good option. I've saved people quite a bit of money from insolvency, doing the insolvency claim. It's far easier and it's much more effective. Now, let's say you did the 2 and 3 and everything was correct, or we were able to amend but you still owed. Okay. Then offer and compromise is another option. But it's always good to amend. So if you owed $100,000, we amend it and you owe $50,000 now. Well, then that means that you're offering compromise. We can offer less. So you had $100,000, they would accept $40,000. If it's $50,000, who knows? They may accept $20,000. Odds are they accept $20,000, maybe $25,000. So you can see, you can save a lot of money. But you definitely need to do 2 and 3. So if you don't use me, make sure you use somebody that reviews your tax returns to ensure that this is not your only option. Okay, because if amending can reduce that debt and even give you refunds in the preceding year, and you get that $50,000 debt down to, half of what it was, then that is really great. You may not even need to offer and compromise. You may be able to just make the payment. So these are really great options. All right, well, I'm going to stop it here because I did 9 minutes already now. So if you have any questions on this, you can go to dnataxes.com right here. Hopefully you can read that. And my name is Greg Dunavant. If you have any questions, go to the contact page and there's a form there. You can just fill it out and send me your question. And the email address there and phone number. Most of my clients these days just text me. I don't hardly ever get phone calls. They mostly just text. Mainly because I answer my texts actually faster than my emails. So you can do it either way. But if you have any questions, let me know. I would appreciate it if you guys would leave some comments on there. If you've been personally through offer and compromise, I always find those things helpful. And a lot of you guys ask questions that I just didn't think of. And it's really good. I really like that because that allows me to ensure that I'm being thorough. And anyway, I'm Greg Dunovit. I really appreciate you guys watching the video, and you guys take care. And